What's up everyone and welcome back to another discussion on Criterion Dungeons. This time we're diving into another Mount Rokkon. Now, I'm not here to give you strategies or guides, this is just my general take and experience. If you like content that tests your skills and your teamwork, Criterion Dungeons are perfect for you and 3 other friends to push your coordination and communication skills. I've already covered how these dungeons work in my first video, so if you're curious about any of that, then you can go ahead and check out the first one. For this video, let's just focus on what it's like running another Mount Rokkon. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, let's just go over the basics real quick. Mount Rokkon is themed around Stormblood and Kugane, which honestly caught my surprise because I was expecting Heavensward to be the next expansion or the next Criterion theme, but it's okay. I didn't expect to see this setting so soon, and overall I like the atmosphere and boss design, so I'm okay with it. They're fun to learn and they're rewarding once you figure them out. And trust me, positioning matters very much in this type of content. The first section I will be talking about is the ads. Just like before, these mobs can hurt, but be careful not to stack too many at once, or you'll have no room to dodge AoEs. And that blue guy in the middle, yeah, he will one-shot your team if you're not careful enough. Our group didn't struggle too much to get this figured out, but it was a solid warm-up for what is ahead. Okay, so let's go into our first boss, and like I said before, positioning is everything. You got exploding clouds, moving rings, blue line AoEs because the blue guy decided to make a return, ghosts with towers, the whole deal. You name it, it has so many more mechanics that is bringing to the table here. Once we figured out what the blue AoEs were, and especially the timing, it just clicked for us. It wasn't too much to handle. But if I had to give like my general thoughts of what was the most difficult one, I would say it was the blue AoEs. That took some time to get used to. Honestly, this fight is where our team felt the most confident once we got the mechanics down. Each and every run, I can definitely tell you, we probably cleared it at least on the first go. The next section is more ads, of course. And what if I told you ninjas and McDonald's Sprite was their thing? Nah, I'm just kidding. Basically, these are just wind sprites with line AoEs. You take care of them, and they take care of you. In a sense, all you have to do is just watch out for the sprites, and you should be fine. Take on one ad at a time, and you should be good. If you try to take on another one, it will make things a little bit spicy for you, but it is doable. But I wouldn't try to pull the entire room due to the fact that they do have AoEs that could potentially harm the entire party or wipe them out. This part made us laugh a whole lot, even though we got pretty confident on it. Every once in a while we'll mess up just because someone spit out a joke, but you know, that's just classic runs with friends. On to our second boss is another rat. Could it be the granddad of Silky, perhaps? I don't know. Anyways, expect lots of fire and lightning going off everywhere. The trickiest part was the color coordinated towers, and we had about 20 or so clears, and this fight still gave us some problems. There was a couple of mechanics here and there that were a little bit difficult, but we were able to clear within some time. One of the most notable ones I would say is the tethers, because we had to coordinate with one another with the tethers, making sure each and every person knew exactly which tower and also who is getting the tether. That took some time, but it wasn't as difficult as the color coordinated towers at the end. And don't get me started with the cross AoEs when the rat is jumping all across the arena. It ain't that difficult, but I have to say whoever's number 4 definitely has the most work put out for them. Despite the challenge, it was one of the most fun fights overall. Alright, now to our final boss, the Samurai. This one is a test of how well you can read mechanics. The Samurai shows 3 attack patterns and several different positions you have to be able to pay attention to. Each tied to an element. Fire means move out, water means move in. Once you get used to it, it's manageable. On controller though, it can be pretty rough. And I say that for the positioning for the big room-wide AoE that took many practice, especially for me. I'm pretty proficient when it comes to playing on controller, but I will say setting up a safe spot for my party when it has to be specifically in a certain type of direction, it can be a little tricky on controller. But apparently I heard it's much more easier for keyboard and mouse players. The shadow twin phase was tricky too, but we found the rotating clockwise made things a lot more smoother for us. So if you see any hands, rotate clockwise with your partner. The final mechanic though was the absolute chaos. Everyone had to focus on their own survival while calling out the blue arrow location. The blue arrow location usually indicates where the safe spot is. You just go there and everything should be fine. But make sure that everyone knows exactly where they need to be positioned. That one took the longest to master, but after finishing it, it made us feel incredibly triumphant, just like the song that is playing. Okay, with my final thoughts, overall I enjoyed this dungeon way more than the first. The first one felt like a typical read and dodge dungeon, but with a little bit of a Criterion spin to it. Mount Rokkon really tested teamwork, positioning, and awareness. As of this video, we are currently progressing through the third Criterion dungeon, and honestly, I kinda miss how simple and challenging this one was. Those were my general thoughts of another Mount Rokkon. With that being said, stay optimistic, keep it real, and I shall see you all in the next one. Peace out.